Hey guys, so the video you're about to watch, I wasn't really sure if I wanted to put this on this channel or the VOD channel because, well, first off, it's a lot of like unscripted yapping. But second off, there's a lot of context missing to the discussion. I didn't decide to start recording it until I got to the point where I actually opened up MS Paint. But to add some context, we started off an entire discussion about add-on reliant killers very early in the stream. And then that transferred to a discussion about whether or not Knight in specific was an add-on reliant killer. And sorry, I can't stop laughing thinking about it. But so basically the argument was Knight is an add-on reliant killer because of Map of the Realm. And then I said, no, it's not. And then my chatter said, yes, it is. And then we argued back and forth for a while. And then that transferred into a discussion about value and how to measure value and basically measuring value based off how long, based off whether or not keeping survivors off gens is inherently valuable, I guess is the way to put that. That's basically how it is, right? It is. We were discussing it, whether or not just keeping survivors away from gens could be considered valuable, because the argument was just because a survivor isn't doing a gen doesn't necessarily mean you're getting value out of them not doing that gen, right? So that's where this whole thing started. I hope it's coherent. I hope you guys enjoy what it's like to be on stream with me. So enjoy the video, and I'll see you guys at the end for because I didn't do the end screen stuff because I'd never planned to, or I planned to put it on YouTube, but I didn't know which YouTube it was going to go to. So I'll see you guys at the end. Here's the thing, right? Power level is always going to be equal to consistency plus usage equals value. Okay? The more consistent something is, and the easier that consistency is to use, the more powerful it becomes. Right? The value of something, however, is always going to be based on the consistency and the user working together. That's why something like windows of opportunity has consistent value, which makes it powerful, but it is heavily reliant on the user. If the user is constantly using windows of opportunity to just run, here's a pallet, I drop this pallet, then I go to the second pallet, I drop that pallet, then I go to this window, I vault this window, and then I go to this pallet, and if they're just doing that over and over again, then Windows is not getting the value that it needs, right? So consistency measures power, but in order for the power to be acted upon, it needs to have the user, which means that the value is fucking reliant on the consistency plus the user. So when you're talking about power, when you're talking about things, to bring this back to the conversation we were having earlier, how do you fucking, hang on. Okay, so to bring it back to what we were talking about earlier with add-on reliance, whatever. Bringing back to what we were talking about earlier with add-on reliance, if you have a killer who if you have a killer who is dependent on an add-on to get consistency, remember, consistency plus user equals value. So if you have a killer that needs an add-on to get consistency, then that killer inherently needs to have a good user as well to get value. So that's how you measure an add-on reliant killer. But if a killer can kind of use its add-on, or an add-on makes a killer more powerful, that's not add-on reliancy, because the killer inherently gets consistency. And just because an add-on gives more consistency doesn't necessarily mean that the killer needs that add-on to have consistency. Some killers are very user reliant, however. Very user reliant, and Night is one of those killers. Night cannot be add-on reliant because if the user is smart enough, then they get value out of the Knight's power without the need for the add-ons, which leads us back to consistency plus user equals value. Am I making sense? Right? So if we take it back to Grim Embrace, right? Brady was saying 16 plus times 4 plus 40 equals 104 seconds off gens. Right? Okay, cool. So Grim Embrace gives you 104 seconds off gens, right? But for your first 16 seconds that you get Grim Embrace, you down somebody, let's say you down somebody as soon as the game starts. Like your Hillbilly's a great example. You Lethal Pursuer, you down somebody in the first 10 seconds, you hook them, you have now blocked the gens for 16 seconds. But the other 3 people are really, really fucking good at looping, and you don't manage to get somebody down for 30 seconds. That is 14 seconds of generators that have been worked on before you get this person down. So you have lost 14 seconds of value, all right? So your next one, you get them down. You've already lost 14 seconds of value. This next down, let's be generous. Let's say this next down takes you 10 seconds. So you gained 6 seconds of value, right? You gained 6 seconds of value. So 14 minus 6 is 7. So you're at negative 8. It's 8. I can't do fucking math, chat. Right? So you have now lost 8 seconds of value. The next person, however, is a real fucking juicer. Like a stupid, crazy fucking juicer, right? He's the juicer of juicers. It takes you 45 seconds to down this motherfucker. It takes you 45 seconds, right? So now, 45 minus 16 is what? 31? 21? 29? 39? 29. So now you've lost 29 seconds of value, which leads us to 37 seconds of value has been lost. That is 37 seconds they have been able to work on those generators. Finally, we get to the last one, which is 16 plus the 40 is 56 seconds. You get 56 seconds of gen blocking. You don't find anybody in that 56 seconds. You don't find no one. Or you find somebody, you start chasing them. By the time you've downed them, it's 16, then 40. So yeah, 56, right? By the time you've downed them, an entire minute has passed. You've lost 41 seconds of gen slowdown. And this is like best case scenario. You're catching someone really fast in the middle. Three 12 seconds, then 1 40-second block. So it's even worse. So it's even worse, right? So then, actually, if we keep these numbers, we go back in and we do 12, 12, 12, and then 40. Okay? So here, you've lost 18 seconds of value. Then you gained back 2 seconds of value, which leads us to 16, right? Right? Then you lose 23 seconds of value. And then you lose 20 seconds of value. That's almost a full minute of gen value that you've lost because you didn't get people down quick enough. And 59 seconds is a lot longer than you think. A gen only takes 90 seconds with one person not hitting great skill checks. Realistically speaking, by that 59 seconds, at least 2 generators have been finished. And that is not counting And that's only if you're downing people, you're downing one survivor who hasn't been hooked after the other. This is best case scenario. Again, sure, you can get lucky and get really good, and every single one of these downs ends up being fucking 10 seconds apiece or even 15 seconds apiece. In the same scenario, you did not have Grim, the game is over. But it's still losing, and you're still not getting the value you should be getting out of it. Right? If you are not taking advantage of survivors not being on gens, if you're not taking advantage of survivors being on gens, and you're not getting downs quick enough while survivors aren't on gens, then you're inherently not getting value because all you've done is prolong the inevitable. Right? So that 59 seconds, that best case scenario, 59 seconds of generators got finished. Right? Let's just say 2 generators were done in those 59 seconds. You only have 4 hook states with 3 generators left. There's a very good chance at least one of these generators will have probably around 20% progress on them. So now you're looking at basically almost a third of a generator being finished. You're still desperately looking for people. There's a very good chance that those people you're looking for are also working on generators. So once this 59 seconds of value that you've lost is up, you either need to have pain resonance, which you need to just assume you haven't hooked anybody on a scourge hook since then. You need to have some really good gen kicking perk, surge. You need to have other slowdown, because if you don't, and you've only hooked 4 people in this time frame, in this 104 seconds that Brady mentioned earlier, which actually it's different because it's 12, 40, so 2, 4, 6, 36, 76 seconds. Right? So if we go off of, actually, we can fucking find out what the fucking numbers are. I have the fucking game up. Yeah, so, yeah, it's 12 and then it becomes 40. So 76 seconds, you get 76 seconds of gen beings blocked. You lose 59 seconds. I thought it was 16 too, Brady. Don't feel bad. I thought it was 16 as well. You lose 59 seconds, which means, theoretically, you only got, if I know how to do math, which I was a casino dealer, you would think I know how to do math, 6, this is 2, wait, no, if I did 20, 17. So theoretically, you only got 17 seconds of value. Right? You only got 17 seconds of value out of your Grim Embrace. You think in 17 seconds the gens would have been done by that point without Grim Embrace? I mean, maybe, but there's a very good chance that by the time this all goes down, you've still probably got about 3 generators left, one with pretty much a bunch of progress. And while four hooks and 3 gens isn't necessarily bad, it's not the greatest. My point isn't that Grim Embrace is weak or that Grim Embrace isn't consistent. It's arguably the second best slowdown perk in Dead by Daylight. My argument is that without user input, the consistency doesn't always matter. Because again, power level of things is consistency plus user equals value, right? That's my entire argument here. Consistency plus user equals value. And so again, we bring it all the way back to the Knight and whether or not the Knight is reliant on Map of the Realm. Map of the Realm is good. Arguably, again, one of Knight's most powerful perks. However, the Knight's consistency is not dependent on Map of the Realm. Right? It's not dependent on Map of the Realm. The Knight's consistency is dependent on the user, and Map of the Realm makes it easier for the user to get the consistency to equal the value. If we bring this back to add-on reliant killers, like Trapper, for example, Trappers, shut the fuck up, Naughty Bear announcer. Anyway, Trapper's consistency is not reliant on the user because Trapper has a very low skill ceiling, right? Trapper has an incredibly low skill ceiling. So his consistency is not based on the user because his consistency is too easily countered and too easily fucked up. So his consistency is instead reliant on add-ons, which means that his value is dependent on the add-ons that you are using. Because if you go add-on list Trapper, if you win, that is all the survivors being fucking dumbasses. There's no way you win a game with add-on list Trapper where the survivors weren't fucking stupid. Right? And the same thing goes for Myers. Right? The same thing goes for Myers. Without Myers' consistency is related to add-ons, not to users. It doesn't matter how good you are with Myers. Without his add-ons, he gets no value. Myers doesn't need add-on. Level, what fucking crack are you smoking? Wait, what? What crack? What? Give me some. I need whatever drugs you're on because they sound like some good shit. Okay? Trapper and Myers sit in the F tier because of this formula. Because Trapper and Myers cannot rely on their users to get value, they have to rely on their add-ons to get value. Right? That is the breakdown. So when you are trying to tell me that a killer is add-on reliant, you cannot be like, but this add-on makes them more powerful. That is, the double stalk is nice, but he gains stalk fine without it, in my opinion. That's not an opinion, Level. That's just not an opinion. You're just factually incorrect. Like, objectively, his stalk speed is shit without add-ons. Like, objectively, he wastes far too much time. Your opinion is factually incorrect. Like, mathematically speaking, your opinion is incorrect. Unless the survivors are fucking throwing a rave in the middle of the Haddonfield Street while you're waiting for you to build up your add-on list stock, you are objectively incorrect. Like, hey, what's up, Dusk? Unless the survivors are fucking doing invocations in the basement while you're fucking building your stock, you're just objectively incorrect. Okay? So that is the argument around value and add-on reliancy. Add-on reliancy, to measure add-on reliancy, you have to look at the skill ceiling of the character. If it is not very high, then most of the time they are add-on reliant, okay? With like maybe 2 exceptions. And I'm also going to post this on the VOD channel if anybody missed the beginning of the discussion. So, and that's the end, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I don't know if you did, but let me know down below. And also let me know your thoughts. If you were able to keep up with my ramblings, then let me know what you think down below. And as always, a great big special thank you to my channel members listed on screen now. If you want to find out how to become a channel member today, get awesome perks like seeing videos early, merch discount codes, and more, then please click that join button down below. I love you guys so much, and I will see you in the next one.